there's nothing stopping you from actually making $100 an hour, $200 an hour. I've got $450 an hour before to talk about stuff. I've had a client get $650 an hour to talk about something. So
Dang, $650. What's up, world? Welcome back to the Tuned In with Tony podcast. And I got my guy Malcolm on the show today, and he's going to be talking to us about something that you really can do from home that you probably see online pop up all the time. And you're like, they don't pay for this, but we've got an expert here that's going to tell us about high paid market research, aka surveys of how you can make money online. And I got a lot of questions because I see them all the time, but I didn't know that you could really make money from. So welcome to the show, my guy Malcolm.
Yeah, happy to be here, man. I appreciate you for having me. But yeah, a lot of people think exactly what you think.
Mm-hmm.
You get paid out in cents or points, but we're teaching people how to get paid hundreds of dollars per hour with this.
Dang. So like on average, right? Just so somebody like what can you make just from doing this?
Yeah, so you can make anywhere from between $1,000 to $5,000 a month with at least 30 to 60 minutes of work per day.
1 to 5K a month. So that's literally, can that be done part time? Does it need to be full time, or you could do it while you're on the job?
Yeah, so a lot of clients that I've been teaching, they have full-time jobs. So you can do it on the side, on top of your job. So I try to tell people that you don't have to quit your job to do this. You can make extra income on top of your already have income, and then just make more money. And then it's from home. You don't got to go clocking anywhere else.
Yeah.
You don't got to even put your shoes on. You can do it from home. So that's the best part about it, for real.
And so it's on your time. So let's just get to it then. So like when I'm online and I see something pop up, right? And I'm sure like what you're going to tell us, since you're the expert, there's a certain way you do it, but you'll see a pop up and they'll say, hey, earn some money by completing these surveys. Are those the ones that you do, or are those the ones you stay away from?
Yeah, good question, actually. So those are the ones we stay away from. So they say you like fill out surveys and you can make money, but we're talking about high paid market research. And this is where you give your opinions on products and services that are coming out in the future. So Fortune 500 companies will pay you to talk about something that hasn't came out yet, and they pay out millions of dollars. So I'm gonna give out a website a little bit later today. But the reason why that they pay out millions of dollars, they don't want to waste billions of dollars, manufacturing, shipping, and making a bad product. So I didn't invent this, but I just figured out how to do it at a high level. And it's something that a lot of people love because you don't need any startup money to do it. It's free to do. It just takes your time.
What I like about it too is, like you said, you don't have to have a lot of startup money. This isn't a coach that's basically selling something that you can't believe. Like you said, you didn't even start it. He's just showing us how that we can take advantage of this. And I think this is really great too for the person who is looking for maybe another job, maybe the mom at home who really can't work because she's taking care of the kids. And then this is just something that they literally can do by opening up their phone, their laptop, and just knocking out these surveys, right?
Yeah, you said it perfect. So one of my best success students is Izzy, and her name is Isadora. Izzy is her nickname, and she literally became debt-free from doing it. She was a stay-at-home mom. She didn't work at all. She stayed home with the kids, and she was able to do this while watching her kids. Able to make $18,000 and then pay off all of her debt and become debt-free. So that's why I really like to tell people about this, because you don't need any advanced skills either. You have an opinion. I have an opinion already. It's something we already have in us. We just got to learn how to monetize this opinion to be able to make, again, hundreds of dollars per hour.
Got you. So what's the cons to it though? Because it sounds super easy. If someone's watching and they're just like, okay, but what's the hook?
Yeah, good question. I would say there is none. So I tell people the only reason you won't be successful with this is if you don't stay consistent, right? So there's no cheat code to success. We know that. It doesn't matter what you're trying to do, but most people just sometimes they can't stay consistent, right? Everybody knows how to get in shape. You go to the gym, you eat less. With this, all you have to do is fill out 10 surveys every single day, and that's going to net you on average at least 500 minimum, but we always say like 1,000 to 5,000 where we want to get everybody to from home. These opportunities pay hundreds of dollars per hour. So you only need a couple of them, a month to be able to hit that $1,000 mark and be able to, add this new income stream to your life.
How long does a survey usually take to complete?
Yeah, so they usually take 30 seconds to 5 minutes. It just depends.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. So it doesn't take too long at all. And usually what people I teach after their first 2 weeks, after doing it, because it's so repetitive, you literally are able to do them even quicker and quicker and quicker as time goes on. So maybe in the beginning, it may take you a minute or two to kind of fill out. But that's my main thing I tell people is we need to be filling out at least 10 surveys every single day to average the right amount to be able to make a lot of money with this. So we tested out 5 a day, we've tested out 10 a day, we tested out 15 a day, 20 a day. We've seen if you fill out 10 surveys per day, on average, you're going to be able to land at least a couple of surveys a week, get paid hundreds of dollars per hour. So it doesn't take too long to complete. So that's why we say 10 surveys. If it takes you, 5 minutes, that's still only 50 minutes to finish those 10. But usually it takes a little bit less than that. So 30 to 60 minutes a day we need. But It is 7 days a week. So I want to be very clear about that. We gotta like literally stay consistent with it for real to be able to see the results. It's a side hustle for a reason. Right?
Yeah.
You're not gonna land every survey you fill out, but the more we fill out consistently, the heightens our chance they're gonna be to land these surveys and actually make money with it.
So let me piggyback off what you said. You said you're not gonna land every survey that you get, right? So my initial mind of thinking was you sign up, you take a survey, you get paid. That sounds like there's a little bit of like that's where some of the competition is. So like, what do you mean by that part?
Yeah, so that's not how it works, right? So I've seen like scammy sites talk about, hey, fill out the survey and get paid. So we're talking about like real market research. So every new product you've ever had, these cameras in here, these computers, they've gone through market research where they test it with people, they get their opinions, and then they make it better before they actually release it, right? So we're filling out the surveys. That's the first part. Then they call us and say, hey, we saw you fill out a survey. Do you want to get paid $200 an hour to talk about electronics? You're going to say yes. And then you're going to show up, and it's either going to be like a Zoom call. It can be an online board. We don't even have to talk to anybody. And you're literally sharing your opinion. So a lot of people think it's like super complicated, but they tell you before you get on, they say there's no right or wrong answers. So they're going to show you something. You're going to say, this is fire. Or you're going to be like, this is trash. And then they're going to give these notes to the Fortune 500 companies, and then they're going to release their products based on what you said. So it is a little process to it. So I want to be very clear. You fill out the surveys, then you actually get picked for the surveys, then you participate, and then you get paid, like I said, hundreds of dollars per hour, though.
So it sounds like the goal is kind of like building up your pipeline of different opportunities of surveys, right? And then that's kind of how the money really starts rolling, because let's say from day one, I fill out, what's the sales cycle till I get paid?
Yeah, so on average, people usually get paid within 7 to 14 days, right? So they pay out 5 different ways. So say you fill out surveys, you land one, you do it. They pay out through paper check in the mail, Zelle, Cash App, PayPal, or virtual Visa debit card. So depending on the payout, right? If it's a paper check in the mail, you're not going to get paid the next day. So it might take a week or two. But if it's like Zelle, one of those like electronic ones, I've had people do the survey that night and get paid the next morning. So it just depends on how they're going to be paying you. But they usually let you know, one, how they're going to pay you, and then they're going to let you know when you're going to get paid as well. But, yeah.
So once you get in the system, do you start getting, like, repeat market research, or is it always a new client that you're trying to find?
Yeah, so the main reason people, like, either make money or don't make money is because you need the opportunities, so the websites. So a legit website is super important, and a high-paying website is important as well. So what I usually tell people that are trying to get involved with this, and when you're trying to do this on your own, you need to make sure you have a legit and high-paying website. So legit meaning that they have been around for at least 10 years plus. Right? You can see on their website that they have been in business, have been doing this already. And then high-paying, that they at least have paid out $1 million. So one of these type of websites that I'm talking about is leopinions.com for your viewers, right? Anybody wants to look this up right now, right? leopinions.com. If you go on that website, you'll see that they paid out $8 million last year. They have over 1 million members that have done surveys with them before. So these are the couple things you want to look for, because every website isn't a good website.
Right.
And that's why people may make money or not make money, because they don't have a legit website that's actually going to pay them, and then pay them highly too.
Got you. So that's kind of the perks of having the coaching, because if you don't know which route to go, you may burn out and be like, man, this survey thing don't work. And you doing the little pop-ups that pop up, because the ones that I see, and that's why I'm glad I got to speak to you, are I'm looking for a coupon code online. And then it's like, oh, take this survey. And it seems like it's a never ending cycle. And then I've actually gave them my phone number, my name, my email, but then I still didn't really get the coupon code. And now it's trying to talk to me about doing something for Walmart. Break down those.
Good question. So this is the whole misconception about this whole thing, that your information is going to get sold. That's what that is. So they're just taking your information so they can email you with all these type of things. So when you're working with a legit website, you actually sign an NDA, and then they sign an NDA too, because they don't want you to release what they showed you, and then they promise that they're not going to release your information either. So those are the websites we don't want to get involved with, right? I tell people, when you're looking for a site, first of all, make sure it's a full website. You know what I'm saying? If it's a pop-up, it's not even a website. It's just an ad somebody paid for to be there.
Yeah.
But you're not the first one. Like a lot of people, like I talk to, they're like, yo, this is a scam. They're just trying to steal my information. Well, I'm like, no, you have to find a legit actual marketing firm. Like, these are Fortune 500 companies that work with these marketing firms to find people to get their opinions on products and services that are coming out in the future. So that's the difference between that. I wouldn't do any of those pop-ups that are promising you $500 just to write a survey or whatever. And I've seen them before too, and that's the big misconception about this. But that's why I'm here. I'm trying to just help people realize this is an actual real thing you can do to make some real money.
Got you. So let's just like make it real for the viewers as well. So I'm literally sitting at home, you know, maybe husband is saying you need to get a job, or maybe you are the breadwinner and you just got laid off, right? I could literally start doing this and in 2 weeks have $100.
100%. And get paid hundreds of dollars per hour, right?
Yeah, hundreds.
Yeah, hundreds of dollars per hour. So I've had a lot of people do it in 2 days. I've had somebody do it in 1 day. I've had a lot of people do it in 3, 4, 5 days. So the main thing is having a website, obviously, right? So
yeah. So when you say having a website, me having a website or the vendor that I'm applying for having a website?
You having the website to the vendor, right? So
okay.
There's a bunch of different marketing firms out there that work for Fortune 500 companies. And a lot of people just don't know which ones are legit, which ones are actually paying out. Over the last 5 years, I've tested and tried a bunch of them. So I usually give like 60 to people that work with me. But you have to have a legit website, right? If you don't have a legit website, you're not going to get paid for one, and then you're not going to get paid a lot if it's not a legit high-paying website. So finding these websites are super simple, though. So I want to let everybody on here know. Google high-paid market research. Go to Google Academy. It's super simple.
Tell them right there.
Yeah, go to Google and type in high-paid market research. You're going to find hundreds, if not thousands of websites to use, right? But the main thing is you want to vet these sites to make sure they're legit. The couple ways you can do that. Make sure that they have paid out over $1 million, right? You should see millions, truly, that they have paid out. They've been doing this. The other thing you can make sure, I said it earlier, they have been in business for more than 10 years, right? You don't want to work with someone that just started their firm yesterday. You want to work with people that have been around for years. A lot of websites I use have, 60 years of experience, 20, 30, 40 years of experience. And that's going to let you know that they're legit. They're actually going to pay you, and you're actually going to get paid for your opinions from home. And that's the beauty of this, because again, there's no startup costs. I'm not promising you to be a millionaire doing this, though. So I want to be very clear. Like you see a lot of stuff online promise you to make 10, 20, 30, 40, 50K a month. I'm not that guy. I'm not. But if you're somebody who could use an extra $1,000 to $5,000 a month, an extra $5,000 to maybe $50,000, $60,000 a year, then this is something you can definitely do.
Yeah, it's like the ultimate side hustle. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, man. And anybody can do it either. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like I taught my mom. I taught my little sister before I started teaching the world. And that's when I really honed in and was like, yo, everybody should know this, because I was someone who used to have to work 60 to 8 hours a week when I was in the military, in the Air Force. Noon to midnight, bro. 6 days a week, 130, 60 weeks.
So let's spin that. So you was in the military.
Yeah, I did 6. It felt like long years. But it gave me a lot of discipline, though. So, shout out to my military veteran.
What part of the military?
I went to the Air Force.
Air Force, okay.
Yeah, I worked on C-130 airplanes. I was like a mechanic / electrician.
Okay.
And I basically did because I didn't have no money. My parents didn't have no money out of high school. I didn't have a car, so I needed a way. I didn't have no money for college. I didn't want to go in debt. So I just went to the military. My parents were in the Army. And they said go Air Force. So I just kind of took that advice, and it gave me a lot of discipline, like I said. But after a couple years, I knew I didn't want to do it my whole life. I was proud to serve my country and stuff. But I figured there had to be easier ways to earn income, and this is definitely one of them.
Got you. So this is kind of how it started, like you're on base and you're trying to figure out, like, where did the survey start from? How did you find it? Yeah,
so it was after I got out, actually, and I was like, let me just try actual regular life and see what I can do. I got my real estate license. Yeah. I was trying a bunch of different things. And I literally just...
What were the things you tried?
Yeah, well, I've worked everywhere, first of all.
Yeah.
I delivered pizza, I did landscaping, I did door-to-door sales, I used to sell cable in Walmart. I've tried every single job you can possibly think of. After I got out, just trying things. I didn't want to be in the military anymore. I also, like I said, got my real estate license. I kind of tried that. I wasn't really feeling that either. But I started seeing affiliate marketing first online. And I tried that for a second. I made $1,000 selling somebody else's course. And then I was like, I just made them $1,000 and I made $1,000. How can I make my own course to teach and help people, right? So I started looking I wanted to figure out the easiest way to help people make money online.
Yeah.
So I Googled it. And surveys came up, and I didn't think it was real at first. I seen a couple people talking about it on Twitter as well.
You literally just threw a hook in the water and was like, what can I catch? And surveys popped up. Right?
A bunch of people had a bunch of different, courses. I seen a bunch of YouTube videos on it, all type of stuff. But It wasn't until I tried it and then made $100 per hour. You know, I got to pay $175 an hour to talk about a new PlayStation. I think it was the PS5 at the time that was about to come out. And then I was like, I can't believe I actually just got, you know, $150 to talk about this, to literally talk, you know, share my opinion. So then I started kind of learning it a little bit more, and I taught my mom and my sister, and then they made money as well. And I was like, I know the world needs to know about this, because they don't have to go get that second job. They don't have to go work these, you know, 30, 60, 80 hours a week, 60 to 80 hours a week, you know, doing multiple jobs or working that same job. And this is something that can help you get extra money outside of that job without having to quit your job, though, at the same time.
So how would you compare this to like the person who's, like you said, they're sitting at home and they're like, maybe I do Amazon, maybe I do YouTube automation. Like they're trying to find that online hustle. Like what would your encouraging words be to get them to like try this instead?
Yeah, now I tell them that this is the side hustle that can fund the other side hustles.
Right? I like
So,
that. So not even, you can still do the Amazon, because they may say, well, I can make more money on Amazon, I can make more money on YouTube, but do this to fund that.
Yeah,
I get it.
And you definitely can make more money doing that. But a lot of those things you need at least $1,000. A lot of those things you need some money to kind of start. You need some money to kind of get everything going, especially with, you know, real estate too. You need money to start a lot of these things. And a lot of these side hustles, you need some money, but this is something you need no money to do. You just need your effort, right? And if you can show up every single day and stay consistent, then there's nothing stopping you from actually making $100 an hour, $200 an hour. I've got $450 an hour before to talk about stuff. I've had a client get $650 an hour to talk about something. So
Dang, $650
for one survey, bro. So think about that. You do two of those. That's $1,000 a month. That can cover your rent, part of your rent, maybe
down
your
there
groceries.
$1,300.
You
know.
Nah, for real. It can cover maybe your ads for marketing if you're a business owner, right? So it's just so many extra things that a lot of people can use an extra $1,000 to $5,000 a month, and I feel like there isn't anybody speaking to those people. There's a lot of people speaking to those people, but tell them they can do something that's super complicated. And make it sound super easy on the front end, right? So
got you.
This is something that's easy on the front end and the back end. There isn't any like you can look into it on your own. You know, the websites that I'm coming giving out. I want to give out another one. Focusgroups.org is another website that I use as well, and you can see it again that they have paid out millions of dollars. They have over 500,000 members, so they're a legit high-paying website.
Okay, and you said it was what?
Oh, focusgroups.org, right? And the earlier one was leopinions.com. So these are two websites. I give it to you for free. No excuse for you now. Like, no excuse for you not to have some extra money if you're in a position where you don't got a lot of money. If you're in a position where you want to make extra money, there's no excuse now. I just gave you two websites where you can actually go see what I'm talking about is actually real, and that's the main thing people miss.
What's the difference from like the company that paid like the $650 versus the $150? Like what differentiates them?
Yeah, so for those, it was just the type of study, right? So say it would be that 651. I think it might have been, I might misquote this, but I think it might have been for like Meta. It just depends on the company who's paying.
Yeah.
So the other one I think was for like Target or something. But these are still Fortune 500 companies, but some have more to spend, and it may be a bigger product that they're working on. So sometimes they just pay out more, but it varies, you know, between them all. So I've seen them pay, you know, $100 an hour, $150, like I said, all the way up to $650. Just depending on what the study is about, but they tell you how and when you're going to get paid before you even participate, though.
Got you. So what about, is it completely random selection, or is there anything you can do to get chosen more with these?
Yeah. So let me silence this real quick. Bro. Yeah, so a lot of things, right? So I give out a lot of things online every single day. If you want to scrape my Instagram, I try to give out free tips every single day. But one thing that I tell people all the time is always let them know you're the primary decision maker. A lot of people will kind of mix that up. If they share it with their spouse or whatever, they just put it naturally. But if you let them know you're the primary decision maker, this is going to let them know that you have a strong opinion, and your opinion is worth something, because when you go to the store to go buy something, you're making those decisions, and those are the people they want to talk to, the people that are buying, the average everyday consumer.
So yeah, like even that small checkpoint can make a difference, because I'm thinking as the marketer, they're like, because if you're not the primary decision maker, you're always going to second guess everything. You see what I'm saying? So they're like, we need to get market research from primaries. Dang, that's a good little tip.
Yeah, and that's
right
just
there.
one, bro. So there's another one where I tell people, you want to let them know you work part-time, not full-time. And some of these things seem like common sense, but when you let them know you work part-time, let them know you have time to give your opinion. If you go in there and say you work full-time, they're going to be like, well, when are you going to give your opinion?
Right.
Not to say you can't have a full-time job and do this, but these are like one of many of the tips and tricks that I kind of give people when it comes to getting picked a little bit more consistently. But that one, another one is not letting them know you know somebody in the field of the study. So they ask this before every single survey. Do you know anybody that works in the field? Do you know anybody that works in market research? And some people get it wrong. They think they need experience. They don't want you to have any experience. They want you to be the regular, everyday person so they can get a good opinion on what the masses like. So if you get on there and say, and it's an entertainment study, and you say you work in entertainment, or you say you work in market research and you really don't, then they aren't going to pick you for the study because then you have a biased opinion, and they want an unbiased opinion so they can make their products better truly.
Okay. And then I kind of want to go back to when you say like you jump on the Zoom calls and you jump on that. Is it actually a survey you're taking, or is majority of the work like video call giving your opinion?
Yeah, so it can either be a video call or it can be an online board where you just kind of...
What's an online board?
Yeah, so you log in. Do you remember the Facebook wall?
Yeah.
It's just like that, right? They'll be showing you some pictures, and then you'll type your opinions instead of talking.
Okay.
So they just have two different types of ways that they kind of get involved with the surveys. The focus groups is one, though, where you kind of... So a lot of people get confused, right? So you're filling out surveys to start. So to fill out the survey...
To get accepted, pretty much.
Yeah, to get accepted, but you're not just doing a survey to make money. And then the making money part is sharing your opinions.
Got you.
So the research that they're getting from you on whatever product and services that haven't came out yet. So they want to just really make sure it's good before they, waste billions advertising, making, and shipping out a bad product. That's why they pay out those millions of dollars every single day, week, and
because they're really saving money, to be honest.
They're making sure, because if you make a product that's bad, you just wasted billions. Advertising, putting it together. You could have spent a couple million, made sure it's the best product ever, and then have a good launch.
Got you.
And this is what every single product we've ever seen before.
Got you. And then for the people watching, I always just like to break any objecting beliefs that they're thinking about. So like, let's just say I'm like, okay, I wanted to start this side hustle today, right? Well, how many surveys am I filling out before I get accepted on average? Because it could be one technically, but on average, what would you tell your students like?
Yeah, so I tell them to fill out 10 surveys a day, right? So that'll probably be anywhere between 30 to 70 surveys, and then you're gonna hit one of those.
Yeah.
And they only take you like 30 seconds to fill out. So up to 5 minutes in the beginning, but once you kind of know everything to say and do, they don't switch up the questions either, is what I want people to realize too.
Yeah.
So they ask you the same type of questions. The topic might change, but it's the same type of questions every time when you're filling out the surveys themselves. So that's why I say usually 7 to 14 days. We've replicated this a lot. So I had a lot of people hit that first survey, 150, 250, however much within those first 7 to 14 days of actually filling out surveys. So,
And then when you think about how much time you actually have, like think about all the times when you're just sitting at home, clicking through all the YouTube videos, trying to find the best one to watch, sitting on the couch, watching the game. You could just have your laptop there, filling out surveys. But here's really some game too. So I was talking to one of my students in my funnel situation, right? And then he said, and I never thought about this. He said, I have a VA that I pay like $7 an hour to, and all they do is apply for jobs for me all day.
Oh,
and then I just wait until I get an interview.
Right.
But even with this, if somebody was just feeling like I don't want to do that, you can find a VA for $5 to $7 and say, just apply for surveys for me all day. And let's say you just say, I'm going to pay my VA for 3 hours a day. Next thing you notice, if you don't want to use your own time, next thing you notice, they're filling out by the end of the week 200 surveys. And then now you're looking at like, dang, I got all these people hit me up. I just need to show up and do this research.
That's the way you thinking.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Man, a couple people approach me and say like, bro, can they do that? I haven't done that myself personally, but I wouldn't say it's impossible. The main thing that kind of I didn't really know is that like sometimes you got to know what the survey is about. So if you get a call and you don't know anything that they kind of filled out, maybe they are communicating with you though. But that still is a good way, and I tell people this. You can do this from home. It's not like you got to go sit up straight, get dressed. You could be on the phone. I tell people, we all watch NBA. I'm a big NBA guy, so I watch NBA. That's 3 hours, So everybody probably just watched the Super Bowl. There's so many things.
Laptop right there with you.
Yeah, like you can still have this out. And I'm not telling people to, even smoking, drinking, going out with friends, HBO Max, Netflix, all of these things. I'm not telling people to stop these things, but if we're not where we want to be financially, we need to scale those things back a little bit.
Right.
And we're not telling you to completely stop, but at least 30 minutes of that, you could be filling out surveys. You can do it while you're watching TV. Like Izzy, she did it while she was watching her kids. So that's the best part about this side. So I feel like a lot of people don't realize is hundreds of dollars from home, but you don't have to really do any hard work at all. It's just, staying consistent and you're sharing your opinions. The same things we give out on a day-to-day basis to our friends, family. We got our opinions for free all the time. We can actually get paid for them.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to let people realize.
Yeah, I like that. That's dope. That's dope. What are some of if it's so easy, is it more so people just don't know how? Is that all it is? Because it's like let me say what I'm trying to tell y'all too. A lot of times in the coaching business, somebody could always be like, all right, he's trying to get money. What's the catch, right? And like I said, I always tear down objective beliefs. With yours, it's so simple. Somebody would say, why is everyone not doing it? And I feel like I know the answers because they just don't have the knowledge, but I'm going to let you speak on it.
Yeah, good question. It's like people don't know.
Yeah.
Or they have that that friction already from seeing about it. A lot of people have heard about stories before, and they think they get paid out in cents or in points. So whenever they hear it, they just automatically dismiss it.
Where do they find that at? Because I've never thought that. So break that down.
Yeah, so I know people have all heard of Survey Junkie. It's like one of those ones that kind of super
I've
popular.
heard of that. Yeah,
you've heard of it, right? So that's one that's super popular. But when you get on there, they're paying you $1.
Yeah,
they're paying you 50 cents, and people think that's all it is. But I'm telling people, there's a whole new wave of it. And that's why I call it high paid market research, because everybody I teach, I'm like, yo, don't even worry about those. We're trying to work with the websites like the ones I gave y'all that pay out hundreds of dollars per hour. And I really just think it's a knowledge thing. And my dad always says it it's not your fault if you don't know. If you don't know, you simply don't know. And now everyone knows now, so there's no excuse
right.
to get involved with it, So that's the biggest thing I feel like is people just don't know about it. If they knew about it, everybody would do it, truly.
Yeah, for sure. And then, is there any trends in this? The trends of, once you get going, you're like, I must try to get those types of surveys, or you just whatever lands? You throwing spaghetti at the wall every day, and it's just a volume game.
Yeah, so it kind of compounds for everybody I teach. So once you do one successfully, they keep you in their system, and sometimes they'll call you without you having even to fill out the survey anymore.
And that's what I was wondering. Do you ever get repeat people that hit you up?
Yeah, I definitely do. And a lot of my clients do too. Once you do a survey successfully and get paid, it makes their job easier because they don't have to wait for you to fill out the survey anymore. They could just call you and say, hey, we have another opportunity just like the one you just did. Do you want to share your opinions again? And then that's how you start really racking it up. But I tell everybody this too. You can't really stay stagnant, and stay in the same place. If you have 5 websites, you're either going backwards or you're going forward. So I tell people to always continue to go forwards. Always be searching, Googling, trying to find new websites every month to add to your resource list, because you can't really scale this up with just 5 websites. You need to always be adding new ones to your toolbox. Remain a student, continue to be learning, and you're going to end up scaling it up, just like we've helped a lot of people do over the last couple of years.
So tell me about your coaching program, because the first thing that I thought about is I hear the simplicity in it, but then you're like, you got to keep finding new websites. Is that something that you're providing in your program? Hey, these are the new sites to attack, to reach out for?
Yeah, so we break it down a couple of different ways. So we give you 60 to start with, right? Just so you have an abundance of them. And then every week we give you 5 new ones that are currently being paid out. So that's the main reason a lot of people are attracted to, my program and kind of what we teach in our workshop and stuff. But because they don't have to go look for the websites themselves. I teach you how to do it, but a lot of people don't want to do that. If they can just get straight to making money and get straight to the right websites and not have to go through the ups and downs that I did trying to find good websites, you can just get straight to websites that are actually working and then start filling out these surveys, start getting picked and stuff like that. So we give you 60 plus, and then we have weekly calls where we fill out surveys with you live. So make sure you're filling them out the best way possible, because there's so many little tips and tricks that I kind of use, like the couple I gave you, to help you get picked a little bit more consistently and really be the person that study is looking for, is what I always tell people to do.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to get on a survey that's about cars or whatever, and it says, and you get on there and say you don't drive cars.
Yeah.
It sounds kind of simple, but when you're on these surveys, a lot of people don't realize that they're paying you hundreds of dollars per hour. So we want to make sure you actually have an opinion on this stuff, and you can have an opinion on anything.
Yeah.
So you need to let them know you do whatever the study is talking about. But yeah, that's what people love about the program the most, is just having the websites. A lot of people, and I give them out for free all the time, honestly, because I want to see people win with it. Honestly, I know it's something that it changed my life.
It sounds like an amazing offer, to be honest, because I'm thinking from a digital marketing side of just how it can scale, because the offers that I work on when it's with Facebook ads or whatever that do the best are the ones that have low barriers to entry. I mean, and it's just clear cut. It makes sense. Like one of my client friends, Ron, he has a courier business offer, and literally it's like, even when it's slow, he's killing it because it's like, hey, if you hate your job, if you're messed up right now, whatever it is, that car in your driveway, as long as you can pick up boxes, e-com boxes, medical supplies, and drop them off here, you can make money. So that's kind of like with yours, which is even better for like, the customer avatar that I see with you is that stay-at-home mom, or that just caregiver who is like, they want to provide for the household, but they got 3 babies and daycare is too expensive, but this is the perfect way to where it's not too much, you know what I'm saying? And especially in the remote world that we're in now, the person that, instead of you leaving your job and going to Starbucks afterwards, you should just be doing this at the desk, you know what I'm saying?
100%, bro. Like, and that's what I've worked multiple jobs before. Like, I really know the feeling of doing that, and you're so mentally drained after going from one job to the next. You have no creativity, you have nothing else to give after that. So it's almost like, I say this a lot, like you're surviving life and you're not living life. And I feel like the only reason you're here surviving and not here living is like income, that middle income where you don't have the income where you can actually, live and have time back. So this gives you a little bit of time back because you're making a lot more per hour than you would at a job,
Yeah.
But yeah, stay-at-home moms do good. We have a lot of people that I have a couple stay-at-home dads and more stay-at-home moms. But even just people that are college students, even some older people that can't get a job anymore, they're on whatever they're on, like disability and stuff like that. They're retired already, and they still don't have enough money because a lot of people retire and have to go back to work. Or
Home Depot, all that type of stuff.
They retire and still don't have enough, right? So this is a way where you can, you can fully retire and then do this on the side. Like my oldest client is 70 years old, and the second oldest is 67 years old. So it doesn't matter what age you're at. You can do this until you're 85 years old. That's just the cutoff I've seen. But a lot of people need to know that this is a better way than working that second job and killing yourself truly, slowly working those multiple jobs, because it sucks. I've really done it before. And my main goal is to help people either scale back that or quit that second job and only work that one job so you can have more time to actually live life.
Yeah. What's some of the resource links that you have? So someone who's watching this and they're inspired, and I know, hey, if you're watching it, like he said, once you have the knowledge, if you need to make an extra $1,000 to $5,000, which you probably do, I want you to tap in with these resource links that you're about to give us. So, like, how can they say, I need Malcolm's guidance?
Yeah, so we do a free workshop for the public, opinionsforcashworkshop.com. They can text SEAT. You can text SEAT to 41372, and we'll give you a free ticket to our workshop. We kind of break down everything I've talked about today just in depth, right? So you can leave that workshop and make money. And if you want to work with me and my team, you can, right? A lot of people, not a lot of people, but some people want to be handheld, right? Some people want the resource. Some people don't want to have to go through the trial and error. So that's why we do our program where we work with you one-on-one and guarantee you to make money in 7 to 14 days with this. But yeah, so we do a completely free workshop. It's a no-cost training. You got everything to gain and nothing to lose, truly, by coming to this. Because even if, say we're, everyone's a millionaire that's watching this right now.
Yeah.
You know somebody that's not.
Yeah.
You know somebody that's either asking you for money right now. Maybe you have kids that are in college that are asking you for money right now. And this is a way where you can tell them, you can do this, make your own money, stop asking me for money. So that's what I really want to let people know too, is that you can teach this to people. I taught this to my mom, I taught this to my little sister, and they both made money. And that's when I started teaching the world, because I knew there was more people just like me, just like them, who were tired of working multiple jobs, were tired of working 68 hours a week, and you can scale that back some, keep your job, and then add a new income stream to your life. So
yeah, the people that fail at this that you see, what's the reasons that they fail, so that the watchers who are watching right now don't become them?
Consistency. It sounds cliche, it really does.
Yeah,
but like, it's consistency, showing up every single day. I say this like on a coaching call when I first meet clients, like, this is something that's very easy to do, but it's easy not to do at the same time, right? So it's so easy to just not pull out your phone and do it. So I tell people what I used to do. I used to like have an alarm set an alarm, be like, hey, I'm about to fill out surveys while watching TV for these next 30 minutes. It's not like it takes hours and hours and hours. But that's the biggest thing, just not being consistent, because we've taught thousands of people now. I've seen thousands of people, for real, stay consistent and get paid from home. So that's the biggest thing I've seen. That's the biggest thing that stops people from being successful with this. But it's a low rate for me. Like, I think we haven't had a lot of people not successful that get into the program, because if you show up to the weekly calls If you ask me questions, if you use the websites we give you, there's nothing stopping you from actually making some money with this. So, yeah, that's all I'll say. Just consistency. That's what everything, though, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, success, a lot of people think there's some cheat code to it.
Yeah.
There's truly not. If you stay consistent, doesn't matter what you're trying to do, you can be successful eventually. I just feel like this is the easiest way to do so because you don't need a lot of money up front to actually do this. So.
What's your IG so they can tap in with you there too? Like,
Yeah. So it's B Malcolm 21. So BMALCOLM 21. That's everything. You know, all my social media. I give out free websites every day, kind of free tips every single day, just to help more people with this and realize this is a better way than working that second job like I once did, or working those 60 to 8 hours a week like I once did too. So.
Dang, 60 hours a week. So as we conclude, I want you to leave with one testimonial of a student who came into your program, and this was, like, I'm not going to say life-changing, but it was very beneficial to them. I want somebody who's watching this to see themselves.
Yeah, so his name is Chris. So he just did $11,000 in 4 months.
Okay.
He had $11,000 in January, actually. So he actually scaled back and quit his job to do this full time. So I'm not telling anybody to quit the job to do this at all, though. But that was like our biggest success story that was recent, where he's just hit the ground running with it, though. Like, he spent like an hour or two every single day. He asked me a lot of questions in the beginning. But the beauty is, once you ask those questions in the beginning, you don't need me anymore, honestly, because you can just rinse and repeat, and that's literally what he did. They're able to hit that 10K plus mark in the quickest time we've ever had, in a little under 4 months.
You need to have like an award for like 10K plus people.
Know,
that would be dope. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta get a plaque or something. So
Yeah,
Chris,
facts.
your plaque is on the way.
Facts.
But yeah, Chris, he killed it for real. He's actually gonna start coaching in our program too.
Okay.
So we can start helping even more people, get quicker results. I usually just tell people you can get that 1,000 to 5,000 a month. Usually that helps a lot of people get to this, or change their life, or at least get to the right direction of financial freedom. Maybe start getting Airbnbs or investing in real estate. So that's why I usually tell people. Anybody can do this, though, but he's our biggest success story. 10K, 11K, right under 4 months. It's been amazing over these last couple of months teaching people.
That's what's up. Hey, y'all heard it from my guy Malcolm. If you need to make an extra $1,000 to $5,000, if you know somebody that needs to make an extra $1,000 to $5,000, which you do, I need you to tap in with my guy and go to what website again for the free training?
Yeah, so you can go to opinionsforcashworkshop.com.
Simple. So it's going to be tagged below in the pinned comment in the description. And that's another episode of the Tune In with Tony podcast. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.